clear, or governance or policy? First discuss the policy,
now
then implement the policy.
Let's get Kiran Shaw's rebut also to him, because I saw Kiran Shaw vigorously nodding in agreement while you were speaking. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, your party is being accused tonight of double standards, one policy in opposition and one in power. I'm sure you've heard that before, and probably it won't be the last time. Kiran Shaw, you were also nodding in agreement. What's your point to Mr. Prasad?
Yeah, I agree. I think I was just about to say that let us not forget BJP have been the ultimate beneficiaries of the Narasimha Rao government's reforms process. Right. Like I said, reforms have a gestational timeline, and they have been the beneficiaries of the first set of reforms. And today's reforms will actually benefit whoever governs next. So I think to oppose this present FDI in retail is very myopic and short-sighted. Do you think even after announcing these reforms that Walmart and Tesco is going to queue up and hugely invest in the market today?
To which I would like to ask a follow-up.
They're not, because
he's already raised his hand. He wants to respond to you.
Today
he wants to respond to you. Mr. Prasad raised his hand.
Let her complete.
Let her complete her point. Okay, great. Please complete your point, Ms. Shaw. Sorry for that. Please continue.
So I am just saying that today I think this xenophobic attitude towards any foreign investor in multi-brand research is totally misplaced. If you try to think that Walmarts and Tesco's are going to queue up and start pumping in billions of dollars from day one, you're mistaken. They are going to play a wait and watch policy.
Okay.
They are going to invest very cautiously.
Okay.
They are going to do it project at a time.
Okay, so two clear points here. That you have the charge is that you have a misplaced sense of where the global economy is going. And Mr. Prasad, on an aside here tonight, because I like playing devil's advocate, particularly with you, I remember that I like it with everyone. I also like it with you. I'm just clarifying there, in case people start saying I'm perennially anti-BJP. The point here is tonight you advocated restrictions on FDI in non-priority areas. You said you channel it to priority areas when you were in the opposition. When you came to power, you failed to designate non-priority areas, and you also allowed investment, among other things, in tobacco and liquor. Explain to the people of India tonight why you allowed foreign direct investment in tobacco and liquor, and having done that, how can you take a position on multi-brand retail? Go ahead, sir.
Yes, my reply is very simple. First of all, it will be totally wrong for Kiran or Mr. Ketkar, regardless of his chronic anti-BJPism, to say that we are opposed to reform. We are not. We are very proud of the fact that we kept inflation under check in our governance. This whole infrastructure sector reform in the highway, the 2003 City Act, all are our products. And although you may recall when I was the INB minister, 49% FDI in media was also encouraged by me when I was the minister. Bajpayee and government supported it. Therefore, our record is well known. But as I said earlier, every policy change is not reform. Therefore, in spite of consistent pressure of foreign companies, we did not permit opening of the retail sector. Liquor may be a case, it is not totally farmer-centric. But don't forget, or no, it is very important to be empirical. These big companies like Texaco or Walmart, please, will take their goods from low-cost economy like Bangladesh, like Thailand, Malaysia, China and others. Indian manufacturing is down. Indian economy presently is down.
Fine.
In this light, when domestic capital is going out, how would foreign capital come? Because their conventional business senses.
Then will you ask Walmart to close down in Punjab? Will you ask Walmart to close down in Punjab?
No, please. No, please. They have been in US and Europe for a long time. Have the farmers benefited? What is this Farmers Act of 2008 in USA? Why is USA giving billions of dollars as aid and subsidy to farmers in spite of Walmart? And by the way, why there is no Walmart in New York? Because the grocery stores will be uprooted and the mayor will lose his
why is it in Punjab?
Job.
Why is it in Punjab?
No,
it's not in New York, but it's in Punjab.
Sorry. Arnav, an isolated incident of Punjab, which was multi-brand retailing, you cannot give a benchmark. One, come with a more solid argument. We are on all India argument basis. As far as Kiran's argument is concerned, this whole field of pharmaceutical, we gave reforms or not. She is also a beneficiary. We are proud of that. From Ranbaxy to others. Therefore, you need to push reforms in the sector which is needed. But you don't push reforms only for the heck of it, which ultimately would impinge upon a whole range of people surviving on retailing 5 crore people.
Okay,
that is our serious concern.
So the BJP leader,
one thing.
So the BJP says tonight on the news, on the news, the BJP says this is not political. My point to you, Mr. Prasad.
My very quick last point.
No, because you're provoking a lot of
when you open up FDI, when you open up FDI in retail, your last shield, you get something in return. And today I am asking, what India has got in return? Have this outsourcing become acceptable to America, to President Obama, to Europe? The movement of human resources, a part of WTO obligation. So you have not got anything in return.
Sir,
but yet you have done.
Sir,
and my charge is just deflect attention on corruption issue. The government has come. Therefore, on the debate in Ordnance issue also, corruption has got in the background.
No, that may be your way of looking at it. It's an issue right now. One minute. I must get Professor Rajiv Gowda to now come in and take on Ms. Ravi Shankar Prasad on that one. You say, why is it not there in New York? And I say, why is it there in Punjab? You say, what have we got in return? Ravi Shankar Prasad, somebody can ask you tomorrow that in Ludhiana, where marginal farmers are part of Walmart's direct farm program, what has Ludhiana got in return? Why would you not ask Punjab to close down its Walmart before you stop Walmart from opening up in other parts of the country where you are in power? Why should the models of development in one country have two definitions, one in Madhya Pradesh and one in Punjab? The question tonight is whether politics has come in the way. Mr. Prasad.
I'm sorry, I need to rebut you that there is no Walmart full 51% FDI retail in Punjab, which you are repeatedly reiterating. Let me ask you a counter question. In horticulture, we have 100% FDI permissible for the last so many years. How many foreign brands have come? They haven't. Because they have a design.
But isn't that what Kiran Shaw is saying?
They have a purpose. You go to let...
Isn't that what Kiran Shaw is saying, that you're building up this... You see, the question is of protection.
No, I'm sorry. Our reform record is impeccable. Let me be very clear. On insurance, on pension, we are willing to support the government with certain caveats in people's interest.
Let us discuss about farmer.
Every policy, policy change is not reform.
No, Mr. Ranjan.
And FDI is not in India's interest.
No, Mr. Ranjan, we have to go back tonight into what has happened. You want to discuss farmers? I can equally ask you, are you not aware the BJP, Mr. Ranjan, 1 minute.
Few years back,
Mr. Ranjan,
Pepsi entered into Punjab. They're telling that the tomato they will purchase from the farmers. What happened to that farmer? Ultimately, Pepsi withdrew. What is happening in ITC in Madhya Pradesh? What it has changed the situation of the farmers? No, sir. The Walmart, you see, showing a big picture, big rosy picture.
Rajiv Gowda.
Finally, what happened?
Rajiv Gowda.
Just a minute. It's the same way that the Prime Minister is telling, because of the drought, there's a price rise. And
may I please request?
You see, food grains, even then price rise is not controlled.
Mr. Ranjan, the fact is that when in power the NDA moved on the reforms front, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad can say whatever. They took tough anti-economic decisions, even if they were anti-populist. They increased FDI norms, including in petroleum, broadcasting and media. They took all those decisions. They moved on the cap. The cap is where the NDA left it. Why are they therefore taking such a position now?
But not in FDI in retail. That is the point.
I want to remind it.
In spite of
all right, let me just talk.
Okay, Professor Rajiv Gowda of IIM Bangalore. Professor Rajiv Gowda of IIM Bangalore wants to respond to both Ravi Shankar Prasad and Atul Anjan.
Okay, first, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad is talking about... Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad wants Obama in an election year to support outsourcing. It's impossible. As a good politician, he should clearly know that that's not going to happen. And that even if anything was said, that would just be sheer rhetoric. Now, in terms of organized retail has already been there in India so far. It has not displaced the Kirana store. It has not got rid of labor. Any entity coming into the Indian market will take advantage of what is cheap in India, and cheap labor is something that is more advantageous. No company is going to go out and mechanize 100%. Another point is that agricultural infrastructure, the entire supply chain is badly in need of investment. We need to attract know-how and investment from wherever it can come. And this is something that really a policy measure that will attract investment of that sort. And Mr. Anjan initially was talking about the Aam Aadmi not being interested in growth rates. Let's simplify what a growth rate means. If a country grows at 3% per year, it takes 60 years for a person's per capita income to double. If it grows at 10%, your income will double in a decade. That is the kind of growth rate that we need to see in India. That's what will make the Aam Aadmi a very prosperous and happy, contented individual, productive, building that new India that we want to see.
So, Mr. Anjan, does that satisfy your argument? Because you said an Aam Aadmi needs dal, roti.
No question.
No, one second. Are you oversimplifying your...
Very small question, sir. A few years, 2 years back, 3 years back, Prime Minister said there is a food shortage because of the drought and many other natural, calamities. We could not produce more, so the prices of the food grains has gone up. Now today we have our filled our different stores, our godowns. Even then the prices has not come down, and double-digit inflation is very much there. So it shows what, even if your production is very much, if you are over-fulfilled your storage, even then prices are not brought down. And see, the Prime Minister just 1 month back from the rampart of the Red Fort said, yes, price rise is an issue. I want to assure the countrymen that within few weeks you will see that prices are controlled. But what we see after the diesel prices, the prices has gone up another 2, 3, 4, 5%, and we are witnessing the effect.
Mr. Anjan, the growing feeling is the growing feeling.
The whole FDI.
The growing feeling. The growing feeling is, Mr. Anjan, I'm sorry, and I put this question to the politicians tonight. The growing feeling, and now let's get even more direct, that, sir, you want a general election. You want to create the situation, a circumstance for a general election. Mulayam Singh Yadav wants a general election. He wants his 50-55 seats.
So that makes the issue completely political.
No, I'm asking the question. I'm asking a question here.
That makes the issue political and not about policy.
I come from Uttar Pradesh, so I just want to tell.
Mr. Anjan, politics.
Arnab, see in the last 6 months back elections, what happened? Where is the Congress party who is claiming that they are forming the government, they are taking the in India for advancement? The Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi comes from the Raebareli.
Sir, you are getting provoked unnecessarily.
Parliamentary seat.
Sir, you are getting provoked.
What Mulayam says is correct.
So you are getting provoked wrongly.
What Mulayam is saying is correct, that there is a chance. And why Congress is worried about the election, and why, if the election will come, not because of that, because their own colleagues, their own partners in the UPA, they are showing the colors. What Mamta is doing, what others are doing, what Mayawati is doing, that's the point. That has to be noted. That has to be underlined.
No,
and
the point I'm making is
tomorrow elections are the game.
The point I'm making, Mr. Anjan, 1 minute. The point I'm making tonight is that some political parties are willing to let the economy go for a toss as long as their political agenda, and this question goes to Gaurav Bhatia, and I'm coming to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad on that. He raised that. Mr. Prasad, coming to you in 2 minutes. That as long as their immediate agenda of somehow destabilizing the political system at the center, keeping the Congress on tenterhooks, keeping them on the back foot, as long as that is satisfied, then there can be policy paralysis for the next 1 year, regardless of its impact on the economy. Gaurav Bhatia, you buy that line, don't you? That is what you are preparing for.
It is very unfortunate that if on a national issue which concerns everybody, and where the UPA has not done its homework, if on an agenda which concerns the farmers, the Samajwadi Party takes a position, then it is assumed it is the Samajwadi Party which wants the election. It shouldn't be like this. On the issues, in fact, the Samajwadi Party has been a very stable partner for the UPA government. And in fact, for nuclear deal, it was the Samajwadi Party that came forward when it thought that, it is in national interest.
Sorry.
So I think,
sorry.
The media,
Akhilesh Yadav had himself said, I am sorry, Akhilesh had himself said, he had said that his party may support FDI if it is convinced it will help small farmers. The fact of the matter is Mulayam Singh Yadav has ruled against it because Mulayam Singh Yadav has a political interest. He's trying to put together a third front somehow. That is the fact of the matter. So Akhilesh is not...
You are trying to create a division between father and son.
In spite of the fact that FDI in retail has been introduced, I don't think so far any statement has been made by the Samajwadi Party that they're pulling out just because they want elections. And more so, our CM had only said that FDI in retail, if it comes, then it should be ensured that the farmers are not affected and the retail chain should not be affected, because all these...
In other words, every state government wants to do its individual deal. You see, now how do I know that this will not lead to large-scale corruption? Every individual state will do its specific deal with the major brand that is coming in. Whether it's Haryana or Maharashtra.
Go ahead with these politics. Prime Minister has said we will give, we will fight, and a lot of money will be invested as it was in the case of Indo-US nuclear deal.
One second, Mr. Anjan, please don't make a comparison with the Indo-US nuclear deal. That was one deal that would affect the country uniformly.
Why not? You said that the money will be spent. The money was spent in the Indo-US.
Well, I don't know why all of you are getting so provoked with a very simple question I have asked.
About the political leadership.
Yes, Mr. Professor Gowda.
We need some political leadership here. We need political leadership here. We need the Congress leadership to go out and convince its allies. There is no need to let Mamta sulk. There is no need to let Akhilesh Yadav remain unconvinced. It's important that the leadership goes out and puts in its effort and convinces them that this is what is good for each one of those states and good for the country, good for the farmer, good for the trader and for the common man. It's about time we saw a little bit more of that.
Mr. Gowda, Mamata Banerjee has said her people in the cabinet were not discussed while such type of hasty decisions were taken.
And you believe her.
You take the decision
and you believe her. And you believe her. Fantastic, Mr. Anjan, and you suddenly believe her. You who never believe what Mamata Banerjee says on anything, suddenly believe her.
What you report, what you report, what you say, what you telecast.
Yes, we telecast.
You question it.
But we did not say we were convinced.
You telecast, and when I repeated, then you questioned that telecast.
Yes, no, but when we telecasted, we also said...
If it is the way of presentation, I must salute you, sir.
Mr. Anjan, thank you for
giving... The way of presentation and telecasting.
Thank you, Mr.
You just give information or disinformation.
Thank you.
Somebody subscribes it, then you question that man.
Thank you. I can see a metaphorical AK-47 in your hand shooting the messenger right on TV right now. I have no problem with that. My question is to Ravi Shankar Prasad. Before I come to you, no.
I am a peace-loving man.
My question
of AK-47.
That's why I said metaphorical. That's why
I don't have AK-47.
It's all right. You can shoot me 1,000 times. No problems. My question to Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Why?
Following.
I should love you. Why I should shoot?
Why does the BJP not acknowledge honestly before the people of India that yes, we are in a pre-general election season. We will not help the Congress. We will create obstacles on all issues. We will, as far as the economy is concerned, we may end up doing the same thing with a little bit of tweaking when we come to power, if and when we come to power. But for the next 1.5 years, this suits us politically to do so. Maybe then people will take it in their stride.
Of the nation.
Yes, what? Yes, Mr.
Mr. Arnav Goswami, only because you have no Congress representative there on your channel for whatever reason, why should you indulge in BJP beating today? We are not governing the country.
But Kiran Shaw is there, don't worry, Ravi Shankar. Kiran Shaw is there, don't worry, Ravi Shankar.
Kiran Shaw is not speaking for the Congress party, no. She's speaking
Thank you, Atul Bhai, very much committed.
Now, 2-3 things I need to flag here at the very outset. Atul Anjan is very right. On 17th of November 2011, in the Lok Sabha, the then Finance Minister Pranab Babu, and in the Raj Sabha before me, Anand Sharma confirmed that FDI in retail shall not be brought about unless there is a consensus with stakeholders, including political parties. No consultation is there, we all know it. The second is very important, or no, economic growth is important. But economic growth cannot come about unless there is good governance. There is no corruption. There is no deal. There is perfect accountability. And Dr. Manmohan Singh is now in the 9th year of his PMship. Don't forget that. There is inflation for the last 4 years. Now, if he could not do anything, could not extend the rot of corruption and the murky deals which we are witnessing with alarming regularity.
No, so you won't let them do anything?
In the coming one year, 6 months.
No, so are you...
No, just, I'm not saying that.
No, are you saying that because of 2G, CWG,
I'm making a serious point. The point is that the obligation to govern this country with accountability and transparency is the obligation and duty of Dr. Manmohan Singh government.
Okay.
And I don't see any signs that in the coming 6 months
I didn't see the link,
and
with all respect. I didn't see the link. Can you tell tomorrow, can you tell tomorrow somebody who's running a 400-meter race, who's doing pretty badly and running last at the 300-meter turn, can you tell him I will not let you run the last 100 meters simply because you have not performed well enough in my eyes in the first 300 meters? You can't do that, right, Mr. Prasad? So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. But what Kiran Shaw wanted to respond to you. Kiran Shaw.
But for a very intelligent man like Arnav Goswami, through whom the nation talks, this comparison is completely misplaced. Sorry. Political governance cannot be compared with relay race. You have been in power for 9 years.
Yes.
Your records have been seen. These hurried decisions are designed to deflect people's consideration from the series of scam.
Miss Shaw wants to respond to you, Mr. Prasad. This is a very interesting debate. I have 3 more minutes left on the debate. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you, Atul Anjan. Yes, Kiran Shaw, directly to Ravi Shankar Prasad tonight. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, first and foremost, I think we have to stick to the main topic.
Yes.
Nobody argues about the fact that we need good governance, we need accountability, and we need transparency. But as far as FDI in retail and aviation is concerned, by the way, this is not a hurried decision. This is a decision that is long overdue, and I think the government has finally bitten the bullet after trying to make coalition politics work, and it has cost this country a lot of economic decline as a result of that.
Okay.
So, whilst I would like to say to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, I have a lot of respect for BJP, but I would like it to behave like a national party with national interests, rather than trying to bring down this government and the Indian economy just because of
what is this membership? Give her membership.
Politics.
Don't attack.
I'm sorry, Arnav. This is a very sweeping comment. Least expected from Kiran Shaw Mazumdar. I'm very sorry to say that. Beyond this, I have my regard for her as well. She's a very good entrepreneur of the country. But this kind of sweeping comment is absolutely unwarranted.
Well, she smiles back in return. She smiles back in return. One viewer writes to me, and I'm tempted to read this out. Gaurav Bhatia is also smiling, and this question goes to Gaurav Bhatia and to Atul Anjan. A viewer writes, in response to the roti chapati argument of Atul Anjan, please ask Atul Anjan, the viewer writes, why should the Aam Aadmi be restricted to 2 chapatis and some vegetables? Is the Aam Aadmi not entitled to have any aspirations? Think about it, Mr. Anjan. Your definition of the... Yeah, no, Gaurav wants to respond. Go on, Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav, respond. Respond to that.
It is not about 2 chapatis.
Look, no. It's about aspirations.
It is not about 2 chapatis. It is... Yes, if there is 10% growth, if there is 11% growth, everybody would welcome it. But at the same time, we have to see that the growth is not concentrated in
Gaurav,
few hands.
Gaurav,
it is equally distributed amongst all people. After all,
ask yourself today, when Samajwadi Party top honchos go to London or New York, how many multi-brand retail outlets do they visit? And tomorrow, if a hard-working person in Uttar Pradesh earns a little bit of money and says, instead of buying the same thing from a Kirana store, I would go there, maybe you would not come in the way of their aspirations. Have malls changed the landscape in urban India? Are there or are there not malls in Lucknow today?
But for that, it is not necessary that we have FDI. And Arnav, if I may ask you one question.